Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Midweek Mixup podcast. Naturally, I'm your host, WandrinDutch, with a really bad throat today. So I've tasked Erwin at taking the lead a lot of the way through. But let's get through the introductions first of all. This week, with Grace and you, with a webcam, we have Shomberlon.
Be shocked, guys. Be shocked.
How are you doing this week, Shomberlon? How's it going?
I'm all right. Been playing. I can't remember the name of it. Is it Road Company?
Yep.
Yeah, I've been playing that a fair bit. That was quite good fun. A little bit infuriating with randoms. So if you are going to play it, then have a team with you at least, or at least one friend. Otherwise, you end up hitting the desk or getting very annoyed.
We played it quite a bit the other day, and it was good, the two of us, but we found we were annihilating teams if you had at least two people in your team that you knew. So that's good. You've been playing anything else, or?
I hit max rank at Apex Legends Season Pass the other day. I got 9 levels one day, which wasn't too bad because I'd not played it in about 3 weeks, so I had just loads of things stacking up to do. What else did I play? I can't think. Was it Syrian?
Yeah, Carrion.
Yeah, we got quite far in that. That was good. I think I'm near the end now, but that's a good game, especially for a nice little indie. So yeah, I think that's mainly what I've been playing. I've not got a TV at the moment. I have to go back downstairs, but I should be getting a new one on Friday, I think. So I'm off Xbox till then, really.
Fair one. Well, you've got xCloud to tide you over.
I can't. My thing keeps every time I try and load it up, it just puts me back to the main screen. It's really irritating. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's also very laggy. I still have the 2.4 gigahertz, not 5.0. What is it? So for me, it's unplayable at the moment. So I need to change my router.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next, and of course, as always, we have the PUBG god himself, or PUBG Odd.
Oh my God, no! I wish that you will never say that again, but you know, well, it's been going good, man. Had a pretty tough week at work, kind of busy, but that's not what we're gonna talk about today. Yeah, man. What I've been playing lately, as usual, I'm playing PUBG. New season came out last week.
How's the reworked map?
Oh, it's one of the best updates ever, if I must say. It's they completely changed the whole map scenery, like the colors and that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, the game looks really awesome, and all the new things that they have, especially the loot truck. It's a big change in PUBG for me. So yeah, man, it's good.
Yeah,
and
it seems really good. I mean, the loot van looks like it's a fun addition.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because the loot truck, eventually when you like destroy it, you get a lot of good gear out of it for your whole team. So if you play in squads, so yeah, man, they did a really good job with the remastered Sanhok. So yeah.
Does it bring some different gameplay mechanics also with the truck, Pat, or no?
Yeah, because you never know, like, if someone's in a gunfight or shooting at the loot truck, you know, like you start hearing shoot people. So what I mostly do is like I go for that sound, and then you notice that there's no gunfight, but they're shooting at a loot truck. So that makes the game more interesting. You know, different kind of things can happen because a lot of people go to that spot. So yeah, man, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I still need to play it.
Cool. I haven't played it for a while myself, actually. I haven't played PUBG for quite a while, so I might have to jump on that tomorrow night or something, if you guys are up for it.
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow night, Patjeuh and I have a barbecue actually. So it depends.
Oh yeah.
Also depends on what time we're finished, but we can make some time for that.
Sweet.
Sure.
Last but not least, this week's co-host, and we'll be taking over the reins. Forza Erwin, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a lot of The Last of Us 2 again. I still not finished the game. It's actually quite long, I noticed. I'm now with the other character. I'm playing the story mode. Every time when you think it's going to be a little bit dull, every time something happens. Enjoying that a lot. Every playthrough that I do, I quite enjoy it. And over the weekend, I played a little bit with my nephew and my cousins and my kids, a little bit Forza and Gran Turismo on the wheel. My nephew is now 13, so he was really curious to play on my wheel and try the different games, and he enjoyed it a lot. So I'm afraid my brother will have to buy a seat and a steering wheel. Because they enjoyed it quite a lot, and it was really fun to see the little ones driving and setting already some lap times, and you see some talent already in them. So that's really nice. Yeah, it's really cool.
Happy days. What else have you been playing under yourself when you've had some spare time without the kids?
Yeah, well, like I said, most of the time actually The Last of Us, and I have holiday now, like I said in the last couple of shows, so I'm enjoying a lot of outside things as well, spending time with my family, and then gaming time is quite limited to only from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the evening. But I noticed that I'm still a long way to go, I think. In The Last of Us, I'm now at day 2 in Seattle with Abby. So I think I still 2 days to go. Is my guess. So that will probably be around 10 or 20 hours. I don't know if you already finished it, Drew.
What's that for? Which one?
So I'm now at day 2 with Abby. So right. I don't know how much time there is left that I still need to complete. But my guess is 10, 20 hours or something.
How far are you in the game total?
I don't know. I didn't check yet.
I would say, well, the game itself's about 35, 40 hours. If you're doing kind of side quest and things, so maybe it's about 10 hours left then.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking all over the place to find all kinds of stuff that you can collect and upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. So I really look in every corner and try to find stuff as much as possible. So probably will be 40 hours for me. But I'm enjoying it so far. And actually, I wanted to play some PUBG as well, but then I go fishing in the night for 2 nights in a row because it's very nice weather over here in the Netherlands. You see my skin color; it's a little bit brown as well. So I'm enjoying a lot the summertime over here as well.
Yeah. Happy days. We'll make the most of it whilst we get the sun. I think over in the Netherlands, you get it better than we do in the UK.
Yeah, as I saw from Sean that he was posting the temperature on his phone was like 16 degrees. Here it's
degrees and raining.
Yes, exactly. So we had that last week for maybe a day or 2, but now it's really good weather and it stays till Monday. At least stays around 30 degrees. So the next couple of days we'll be barbecuing to the beach and having fun before the work life begins for me on Monday because that's the end of my holiday. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, first bit of news we're getting into. It caused quite a bit of backlash the last couple of days. As you know, it's been I've had fair share of, not arguments, but fair share of posts and things on Twitter about it. But initially, and I'm completely against anti-consumer practices, specifically when it comes to what I've got on screen here, which is the news that PlayStation 5 games will not support previous gen peripherals, specifically the DualShock 4. But then we also have to take into account people using things like expensive, and I'm talking much more expensive controllers than an Elite version 2, with scuff controllers that can range anywhere from 180 to 250.
Yeah.
They also won't work on PlayStation 5 games anymore. Obviously, that's quite a considerable investment someone would have put into a controller on PlayStation, and there's far more scuff users on PlayStation than there's on Xbox. I think that's and for someone who takes apart controllers as for nigh on a living, I think that's a massive oversight. I think that's forcing personally, that's forcing people to pick up an additional pad if they want to play multiplayer or side-by-side multiplayer with people. Completely anti-consumer, in my opinion. I know for a fact two things that aren't going to hinder gameplay is a microphone, specifically because you can plug in a headset and use the microphone to do what you need to do on the controller. Or separate from that, we know from having any form of haptics in any controllers now, with or without haptics, games work. It might make it feel different, but that's just the feel of a game. It's not how the game actually works. That's not going to restrict anybody from playing a game. So I think it's
marketing. It's just marketing, Drew.
Marketing specifically down to that. I mean, what's everyone's thoughts specifically on a lot of the things that they've already come out with, and just saying literally, obviously platinum and gold headsets as well as third-party headsets connect via USB port or jack will work on PS5. The headset companion app is not compatible with PlayStation 5. So any companion apps that go with any of these peripherals will not work. So that might be a downside. You might lose a lot of the features. DualShock 4s will only work with PlayStation 4 games on BC, but it won't work with PlayStation 5 games. VR will be supported on PlayStation 5, which is a good thing, as we know. They have not really said much about it. But yeah, if you want to kind of elaborate on your thoughts, first of all, Sean, what do you kind of make of that initial news from them about that?
It's not surprising at all. When you look at their business plan, they've said from the start that they see generations as a definitive thing. And you know that it's not really a technology thing, because you can use the PlayStation 4 pad for PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5. So you know it's not a compatibility issue with, because I think with like last gen to this gen, a lot of it was they were changing from what signals they used in the pads, both PlayStation and Xbox. So, you know, if there's a compatibility issue, that's fine. I completely understand that. But the fact that they say they support it for PlayStation 4 games shows that it's not that. And if it's just a case of you're playing a game and you don't get that haptic feedback, or you can't blow into it and do what the that demo game that Jeff Keighley played does, and you can't do that, well, that, I'm sure most people is fine. But it's like you said, it's the couch co-op players that are now going to have to buy 1, 2, possibly 3, depending on how many are in the family and what type of games they play, extra pads, which if it's the rumored 70 quid a pad, is that's you know, that's half your console there just in peripherals. And the fact that the VR works fine, so
that's the surprise to me. I thought they might have pushed that aside and said you need a new adapter or something. I think one thing that a lot of people have got to kind of look at this news from is, if you take off your kind of outside, if you jump outside of Twitter and you go to your average consumer and have a look at the normal average person who's going to go and buy a PlayStation, especially around Christmas and the holiday period, they're going to be trying to look to get as much as they can for as little as they can. They're not going to be looking to buy 2, 3, 4, 5 controllers, whatever it is that they want to buy, or an additional this or an additional that. They're going to be saying, what do I need to get up and running to get? If we've got 2 kids, no doubt each kid's going to want a controller. Let's face it, they don't want to be sharing controllers. They hate it. They hate the idea of having something that isn't their own. It's just one of them things.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed last time when Patjeuh was with me, we played a card game on the Xbox. I forget the name. What was it, Pat? The Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's the Nickelodeon Card Racer. Yeah.
Yes, and I was looking in the house to grab some controllers. I actually had the biggest problem with batteries, actually, but the controllers I got. But I can imagine if you want to play then a game on the PS5, I need to buy 3 controllers because we were with 4. They need to buy 3 extra controllers. Man, that's a lot of cash, huh?
Yeah. Especially for the initial outlay, and that's the thing. That's where Microsoft's going to really jump out on top, because the newest feature, I mean, all of the features that the new controller has are in the current ones, apart from a share button. It's still, the haptics are still there. The low latency is the only thing, the ultra low latency mode on the new controller. But even then, if you really want ultra low latency, simply plug in the cable. I mean, it sounds like a stupid resolve, but you just plug in a cable, you've got ultra low latency.
Isn't the old controllers that get the update as well for the low latency?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because you can update your Xbox One controller already, so probably they will just give an update, a software update for it, and then maybe it will run as well.
Specifically, the newer versions of S's. I can't imagine the older original Xbox One controllers will support it, but like all of the S model ones, they should be fine.
The one that's got the headphone jack pre-built in.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's like I was going to say, this is now in Microsoft's hands to actually hammer home to, like you said, the normal consumer that all your equipment going forward will come with you. It's not a case of that you now need to buy 3 pads for your kids, especially with that on top of Game Pass at launch day. So you've got Game Pass and you've got your control pads that obviously you get one with the Xbox. You might even get a deal, wherever you go, that you might get an extra one. Things like Game or whoever, Amazon might do an extra pad thrown in or whatever, but you don't have to worry about that. Whereas with PlayStation, it's all money hatting is what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
They want everybody to send themselves. They want everybody to jump in and spend, essentially just switch over this new gen immediately, but cutting off an entire, literally, I can't imagine how many controllers now are just going to become null and void.
But it's one of the best peripherals that was being sold in the US. The Duos 4. I think it was in the top, maybe the first place. I think maybe
for all time sold peripherals.
Yes, so they sold like crazy amount of those things, and I can understand when people say, when I buy a new console, I only want to play the new stuff on it and stuff like that. But I think when options are being offered, options are never bad. Options are always good. And why limit yourself to only a PS5 controller or your new PS5? I mean, it's not 2013 anymore. Hell, it's not even 2001 anymore. So technology evolve over time. People evolve. People want more. People expect more. So I think if you have options, I think it's good. And I think Xbox really can knock it out of the park when they have a rumored August event. They should really address it like Sean also said. That they can really show the benefit of everything being forwards and backwards compatible.
Again, it's the whole thing at the beginning of last gen where they said you couldn't share games on Xbox and blah blah blah, and PlayStation capitalized on that. The ridiculous video with 2 of the directors swapping a game between each other and saying, look, you can use this game here. It's going to be the same thing.
But it worked. That's the thing, is that's what most people remember now. People, even now you see on Twitter, and you get some people who don't think that you can share games on Xbox.
Yeah. Do you see also how much views that video got? Maybe you need to look up, because it's a lot, and like Sean said, it's still on people's minds to this day, that you still have the DRM problems and stuff like that. So if you saw the Xbox account, the Xbox UK account saw tweeting, that everything works with a little tick of the box mark on it in that tweet, that everything works on the Series X. Those are a little bit more aggressive marketing that we need. I think
17 million views.
17 million, for not even a game video, just a video of two dudes giving.
For a 21-second clip.
Yes.
Wow.
1-second clip, only giving one game to another. Can you imagine how many people watch that? And those are also a lot of casual players. So it made a lot of storm on social media. And I think that's something that sometimes you need to do up to launch, just to be a little bit more aggressive, to show where you stand, and that's good.
Yeah.
I agree. To me, this is what a lot of people kind of take flack for. Is some people just assume that it's fanboys having a go and things like that, but I'm of the neutral mind. I think if you just take a step back and think from a consumer point of view,
exactly,
you have to think from a consumer point of view. Going into a new generation, buying a console for your kids, you're going to be, if you're going into PlayStation for the new generation and you're getting a controller each, you're getting one with a console, you're getting a separate one for if you've got more than one kid. If you've got 2 kids, God help you. 3 kids, God help you. And then you've got to buy games for every one of them, and if everyone wants a game.
But the thing is that most of the games are single-player games on PlayStation. So,
that's the problem. That is another problem.
But like you said, with the SCUF controllers, I mean, they have marketing deals with Call of Duty and stuff like that. So all the competitions are being played on PlayStation as well. So I can imagine those guys are really screwed. That you need to buy another controller of 180 or 200.
And it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be quick because the likes of SCUF and things, all of these second-party controller developers aren't gonna. They're going to have to start from scratch.
Yep.
And then you're talking another £200 outlay to get another new Pro controller.
Well, that's why I waited before getting my Series 2 pad to find out if it went forward to the Series X. If it didn't, I wasn't gonna outlay £100+ to have a control pad for 8 months.
Yeah.
I was actually really happy that my Wii U is supported. So I have the Fanatec CSL Elite PS4 that is compatible with both Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. And then I saw already in the blog post that you have in front of you that most steering wheels work. Fanatec themselves also confirmed it works on PS5. So I'm really happy that's the case because I remember last time when it was from 360 to Xbox One. A lot of Fanatec users or other Wii U users on Xbox were highly disappointed because you couldn't get the Wii working on the Xbox One unless you use a connector, from a brand. What's the name again? You have a brand that gets it working, but doesn't matter. But now it's just forwards and backwards compatible, and I think that's the way to go because I made an investment from around 600-700 euros on my steering wheel, and I'm almost expecting it to work for the newer generation, just like you have already for so many years on PC. Because basically we're just playing on a PC now. With those consoles. Why shouldn't it work? I mean, of course you can give your controller a blowjob on the PS5, but I mean that shouldn't be an exclusive feature, right? I mean, come on.
No, I completely agree. It's again, it's. I mean, Patjeuh, what's your thoughts on the whole? Obviously, I know you're not going to be getting a PlayStation 5 at launch or anything like that. Maybe it's in the future, but what's your thoughts on it?
No, you're not getting it, then?
No, I'm not. No, you know that. I'm not gonna buy a PS5. No. But what you guys also talk about with the controller. I really like it that with Xbox that your controller from the previous console works on the new console. And like backwards compatible games and that kind of stuff. That's one thing I really like about it. So, but I don't read a lot of news about PS5 or that kind of stuff. The most things I hear is that you guys talk about it or Erwin talks about. So, it's not really not my kind of thing to like pay attention on PS5, to be honest.
But as a consumer point of view, then, Pat. So not as a gamer like we are, just as a consumer point of view. What are your thoughts? Because you can maybe change the subject to tablets or to phones or stuff like that also.
Yeah. I don't know. I have really no idea what to think about, like from consumer point of view, but.
If we switch gears and Xbox came out into this gen and said all of your peripherals aside from a few licensed ones are no longer going to work. Nothing's going to work. You have to get a new controller, and if you want a second controller, you have to buy a second controller because the only games that'll work are your previous Xbox games. And even then, all peripherals going forward are going to be limited. How would that, I mean, going into buying that console, that wouldn't be a great thing investing into Series X, really, would it?
No,
But
I don't think so.
yeah, I think you accept it also one way or the other. But yeah, like I said, it's not 2013 anymore. I mean, at least one of the console makers, Microsoft, changed their direction and strategy already for so many years now that I'm almost expecting that everything works on the Series X from what I have now. For my Fanatec, I really hope it will work. I think Phil Spencer already said that all peripherals work, so I expect it to be working. But Sony just really thinks old school in generations. That's the whole marketing thing. And I think what we are discussing now, that it costs €70 or 70 or 60 pounds or whatever. I think Sony is rubbing their hands. So every time somebody buys an extra controller, that is the money that we can spend on an Avengers exclusivity, right? So they are just too happy that people buy all those extra controllers. And yeah, it's just a different strategy, and I think for Sony, PlayStation is just such a big money maker, and for Microsoft, Xbox is just a nice part to have.
Yeah, that's it's become quite well. It's even more obvious now that Sony are very much focused on hardware, selling hardware, just getting as much hardware out the door as possible. They make these centric, epic games to pull people in to buy the hardware, but they're specifically centered on let's ship as much hardware as we can. Yep. Xbox are completely the opposite. They don't care if you're buying loads of hardware. Hardware is not what they're bothered about because their services are available on all platforms. So they want you to invest into a service as opposed to into a platform. The difference between PlayStation and Xbox is now a division of Microsoft. It is the entire gaming division, whereas Sony PlayStation is entirely separate as an entity from Sony. Sony doesn't have a gaming division. PlayStation is its own cup of tea. That's its own thing.
Yeah. But the origin of the companies also exists there. Yeah? Sony is a hardware company that sells PCs, Walkmans back in the day, and etc., Blu-rays and stuff like that. And Microsoft is just a software company that you see with Windows already. So it's actually not weird that we are seeing such developments. And I think you can see clearly from a marketing point of view that they have taken both very different directions up to now, because I think it will change. And I think you also see that now with Horizon Zero Dawn launching any day now on the PC, right?
Friday, I think. Yeah,
they are going to double dip. I think to the hardcore fan base that they have is quite large. They want to get used to it that those games are releasing on PC. So I'm fully expecting Spider-Man and God of War and such titles being released on PC as well. And I don't think it's going to be day and date for any time soon. But I think step by step they are going to get their fan base used that their games are also being played on PC. Because if we look back 2 years from now or 2 years back from now. That you ever imagined that MLB The Show, Horizon Zero Dawn will be playable as a multi-platform as a PC title? Never. That 2 years ago you thought never, man. It's only going to be on PlayStation. And you see every time if you read through the lines, every time when Jim Ryan says something, it's right now or till now. And I think they're just readying up just to reach a bigger market. And that multi-platform way of thinking, that is just not fanboy stuff, because these are just companies that want your dollar and they want to keep their shareholders happy. So slowly but steady, I think PlayStation will move a little bit more in that direction. But probably with all your controllers working and stuff like that, it will probably take another generation.
Yeah. It's I think it's a little bit of a sidestep, to be honest. Like I covered before, I know controllers inside out, and regardless of who it's been designed by. And I know that there's nothing I could go into the DualSense 5 controller, snip the cables and the wiring for the haptic triggers, and it would work just fine. It would work absolutely fine with no issues on any of the PlayStation things. And that's my grievance. I know that there's absolutely nothing stopping a DualShock working on PlayStation 5 games. Yes. Zero. I think it is on that point. It's anti-consumer to force somebody to buy a second controller to play a PlayStation 5 game if there's any co-op games available. Of course, right now we haven't seen any available, but I'm not going to go into the whole fanboy argument of they don't have multiplayer games. But to have a second, and again, like I say, if you've got kids, they don't want to be sharing controllers. They don't like sharing controllers. They want their own thing. Whether or not it's a different color or put a sticker on it or just have their own controller, it's just something that they like to do. And you've got to think of it. You've got to just think of it from a basic standpoint. Really, I think it's a bit of a step back. I wouldn't be surprised if they got turned around and kind of put a firmware update in new controllers or older controllers, or turned around and said, okay, we'll allow dual shocks to work on PlayStation 5. You never know.
They'll do a big announcement at some conference, and now your PS4 controllers will, and it'll be a year or two into the cycle. But at least we know come September your dual shock 4 can be playing Master Chief Collection via xCloud, so it's not completely lost.
I know. And we'll go straight into the next PlayStation article, and that was the very strange state of play announcement that come off the back of it. And that was that the next conference, which is tomorrow, is going to cover PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation VR. We'll have a few little updates on PlayStation 5 games that you've already seen announced at the June showcase. The episode is 40 minutes long, with new gameplay footage and other game updates. Just to be clear, there will be no PlayStation Studios updates in the episode, i.e. there is no more PlayStation 5 news or any new announcements. So there's going to be nothing to do with price. Nothing to do with any console updates, release dates, or any new Sony Studios games.
No.
So what do you make of that very strange state of play announcement on the lead up to the new gen? Sean, first of all.
I think it's a little bit weird. I find it a little bit strange. It's Sony are the market leaders by quite an astronomical difference, you know what I mean? It depends on where you get your source from, but they're at least 2-1 in favor of Sony. And it seems, I just find it strange they're playing coy a little bit. So, you know, with price, with release date, you know, if you're that far ahead, you don't really need to worry. But it seems that they are concerned a little bit by Xbox. I don't think, I mean, my prediction for next generations, I don't think Xbox will sell as much as PlayStation, because I don't think that's their main focus. And even if it was, I think the market share is so much in favor of Sony that even if they were going out for out sales, they wouldn't match what Sony can do. So yeah, I don't quite understand why they're not being a bit forward. And even like the hardcore PlayStation fans are getting a little bit annoyed now, because they know they're the market leader. They know that they're that far ahead, and they just want to pre-order their flipping PlayStation 5. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm not going to be getting one at launch, but I will get one. For me, it's just a case of time and money. And I also want to know what I'm getting for my buck. I want to know backwards compatible what I'm going to get. Are my games that I've got going to go with them, or I'm going to have to buy everything again or buy the remastered version? So, I mean, like the Spider-Man's on sale. Like I was saying before, I don't know if it was in podcast or after when I was speaking with Dutch about how far I got in Spider-Man near the end. But it's kind of like, if it's not going forward, then I'm not going to be spending money even in sale just to finish off the last 5 hours.
Well, they had that rumor, didn't they, about it, the Miles Morales one being shipped with a remastered version of the new one. That tells me that it probably won't be backwards compatible, and they'll probably just ship Miles Morales.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on what they do with it. If it's a case that I need to start again, I've put like 20 plus hours into it. I don't think I can be bothered starting all again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it's that fantastic a game. It's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but it still suffers massively from the, do this tower to unlock the map. Go save 7 people in this area, and then go save 7 people in that area, and it's very past last gen formula for things. I remember I can't remember the name of the game now. What is it? I can't think. Anyway, it's set in New York, and you're some kind of mutant with a funky hand. There's two games of it. I can't think
Infamous?
No. It was cross-gen.
Cross-gen?
Yeah. It was. I played it on the Xbox 360.
Saints Row or no?
No. You were like in the first one, you were the hero, and then in the second one, you were somebody else, and the hero from the first one was actually the antagonist. Anyway, I forgot my point. Yeah, but it's that kind of thing. Go here, all of a sudden you get to a certain point in the game and it gets harder. There's more enemies in the street. A different faction comes in. Yada yada yada. It's still fun. It's still good fun to be swinging around New York as Spider-Man. And the controls for swinging are excellent. They're very, very good. But it's by no means this amazing game that some people make out for me. Well, at least for me, it wasn't anyway.
No.
It's a good game, but it wasn't this higher echelon that the people always like to spit out. But yeah, if it's a case of like I own the game and then I pay whatever for the Miles Morales add-on, then maybe. But because they're not telling me this, I'm not going to be getting involved until I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the point, I find it almost like Sony are really waiting for Microsoft, and they don't need to. They really don't need to, unless that they're worried that the PlayStation is going to be a silly amount of money, and they're worried about the optics. It's going to be a complete reverse, that they've got the lesser power hardware and the higher price.
But isn't this maybe a little bit downplaying for the event that is still to come in August? Maybe. I
just think it's a sidestep to even continue talking about current gen. I mean, we're literally 2 months away from potential, just over 2 months away from potential release of next gen hardware, and they're talking about games coming to PlayStation 4. I mean, at least
whole event for it. At least they slipped a couple in, like
Don't Tell Me Why or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that, and there was another one that might be coming this gen. They kind of slipped it in there, but they didn't really pay much attention. It's just, it's coming soon. Yeah. Same with Battletoads. They completely left out the thing and then just shadow dropped the fact that Battletoads is out at the end of the month. Yeah. They didn't have a whole event for it.
But don't they need to? Because they sold like 125 million PS4s. Don't they need to still have a little bit of focus on the PS4?
I don't think a 40-minute plus event, like a 45-minute event on it.
Especially not when your mantra is that we believe in generations.
But because if you turn to this and you've got, for instance, a lot of your consumers might be on or watching that event, you're coming towards Christmas, so you're going to be thinking, all right, okay, there's so many new games coming out for PlayStation 4, I may as well just keep with this. Or are you going to be going for PlayStation 5? I think having a PlayStation 4 event so close to PlayStation 5's release is just a bit strange.
That's weird.
Unless they had a very, very big game coming out, but I very much doubt it. I think they already said that Ghost of Tsushima was the last AAA game.
But that's another thing that kind of worries me as well. And of course, talking from AAA studios, if you have a look at who's just released them. Now, outside of Sony Santa Monica, who hasn't released a game since 2018, they're very, obviously we're expecting God of War 2 being announced kind of any day now, or hoping for it anyway. If you're looking at the studios that have only literally just released games, that's two major studios, really big studios. You've got Naughty Dog and you've got Sucker Punch. That's two of their biggest studios have just released a game. So we're not expecting anything else from them for 3-4 years.
But it's going to be a copy paste what they did with the PS4 guys. I think for like you say, like in the first year of the PS4, nothing really major came out. Besides some couple launch games that were pretty mediocre. They just waiting till the user base gets up above 10 million, and then they're gonna announce and ship all the AAA titles. I think it's going to be a copy paste of what they did now, because now it was a success. And I think in the past they also work like that, because Gran Turismo always come later in the launch, and other big titles as well. When there are enough hardware on the market with a lot of users, then they can sell the software. So it's going to be a copy paste. I don't expect.
I think the reason this, but everyone, I think anyone with the right mind knows the reason they shipped so many consoles at launch last gen was because Microsoft fucked up in a glorious way.
Yeah, also. But don't forget that PlayStation in general just always sells you at least 80 million, just because of the name PlayStation.
Yeah.
And the Xbox, the original Xbox only sold like 35 million or something like that. And the Xbox 360 did really well in a lot of people's eyes, but it sold like 85 million consoles or something, only maybe 1 million less than the PS3. But then only at PlayStation had a bad generation, because they were super arrogant with a super high launch price. But then in that generation, you saw also at the end of the generation, all the heavy hitters came out. And then, when, like I said, we have a lot of the hardware user base. Then you can sell really a lot of software, because software makes the money.
Got to completely agree there. It's still, though, going into it, especially when you're going into such a divisive generation where two companies have learned a lot of lessons from previous. Sony have learned a lesson from pricing things too high, caused them a lot of issues with PlayStation 3, so they can't afford to do the same thing again. Xbox had really poor messaging around the Xbox One when that launched, and they can't afford to do the same thing again. So that's another kind of sidestep that they're getting around. So
it's completely different start from the generation now, because Xbox
this start of generation, both platforms have learned a lot of lessons, haven't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and they've both got completely different management as well.
Oh yes, definitely.
So that could, I mean, I don't think that's going to be I don't think that's going to be a negative for Sony in terms of sales. I still think they do very well, but people who think they're just going to copy exactly the same and do exactly the same, they're going to be wrong, because they've got two completely different philosophies from PS4 to PS5 now.
Yeah.
And like what Hazador Gaming is saying, he said that's why Sony making a heavy investment in third-party department, because they're now the exclusive are at rest, and that's really the case. That's why all the exclusive deals and all the exclusive marketing rights with Call of Duty and etc. FIFA, that's all what they do when the launch up is a little bit sparse. Even that guy said it back in 2015. It's a little bit sparse, and that's why they are doing the exclusive third-party deals or second-party deals, which will be announced. Now also the rumors are for Final Fantasy, right? It's going to be a timed exclusive. I think we're going to see more and more of that to keep your fan base satisfied, because they have the games to play, and also the exclusive slogan will be interesting for a lot of fanboys as well. But that will buy you some time, and buy you some time for your studios to launch one AAA title after the other later in the generation.
Well, they get better with the indies, because what was that thing you shared with us in the private chat about the indie studio just not getting any help, and they probably won't be putting
the Descenders. It wasn't even the studio; that was the actual distributor. So he's distributing a lot of games, going to PlayStation, well, indie games at the moment, and Descenders was one of them. And Descenders just absolutely killed it on both PC and Xbox. They ported it up, and it's meant to be coming over to PlayStation shortly. But another indie title that has been on PlayStation very recently that he posted, he said he's done 5% of the sales.
Of the Switch opening weekend sales, he did only 5% on PS4. AKA, we barely sold anything at all on PS4. Man, it's crazy, eh?
And PlayStation used to be really big for indie games. Used to get so many indie titles. Now I don't understand why they're really not pushing the same thing. But again, I think we've seen the fan revolt on us playing indie games or talking about indie games, or any Xbox fans playing indie games, and you get so much hate for playing an independent game. I don't understand it.
When it's not AAA, it is trash already, and that's a really bad mindset, because a AA or even a single A title, an indie title, can be a lot of fun as well. I mean, it doesn't say anything about the quality of a game.
No, exactly.
But Twitter and social media is so bad with that mentality that if it's not a AAA or even if it doesn't look like a realistic game or something like that, like you see with Halo, it's trash already. And we didn't even play Halo yet. The gameplay looks very nice. And of course, the graphics aren't that super. We expect more. I think we need to expect more, of course. But it can be a good game. Besides of looking graphically maybe not impressive, and that's
but at the same time, the graphical aspect can be patched in. It shouldn't have to be, but it's not a feature that's going to kill the gameplay. That's something that can be improved upon over time, or even improved upon in an update very soon, before or after. It's not something that's going to kill a game.
Especially if it's like the current gen is genuinely holding it back graphically. Once they phase that out in 18 to 24 months, they can always post a patch that's going to be exclusively for Series or Lockhart and up.
Yeah, I think we this is a very, very specific thing because Halo itself is a very different kind of mentality to the rest. Halo Infinite was in development before they got a Series X announcement or dev kit. Halo Infinite was around before that. So what they're saying is throughout the development, they eventually got, right, okay, Series X is coming out and we want you to put it on Series X. So they're like, okay, we're going to have to start developing it on Series X again now and porting it forward. And that was only a year or so ago. That was like a year and a half ago when they started working on Series X. So...
yeah, I don't know. I heard stories also. They transitioned a new engine that it will be very more scalable, that it will work on the Series X better than the past engine that they had. So I don't like a year or so that they really start developing for the Series X. I don't believe that so much, Drew. I think it's already longer. That's why they made the engine already. So. But Halo aside, I think graphics for at least on social media attention, I think that whole mindset is strange, and I think Xbox is doing quite well with all the indie on Xbox, or what's the name? I think
ID at Xbox,
ID at Xbox that does really well. I think the developer that you had on the show as well. That game is actually looking very good. So an indie game can look very good, but always about Ori or Cuphead or some other titles like that are indie titles. Always some kind of bad taste to it because of people say it's not it's an indie title. It's just an indie title. But the same with racing games. You know, they always say it's not so intensive. It's just a racing game. But a game is a game, and it doesn't matter which genre or something. If it's a good game, it's a good game, and it no matter if it's an indie title or a AAA.
Exactly.
And that's a really wrong mindset that a lot of people have. But that's also the mindset that a company like PlayStation sets. With all the marketing that they do. Yep.
Yeah, well, obviously, they put Yoshida in charge of indie games, and I don't know where that's going. I don't, but they haven't really pressed forward too much on that, and it's a bit of a strange one.
Maybe not yet. Maybe they will use this show maybe a little bit to announce a little bit more indie titles, because I also saw Herman Hulst was having a phone call with Cars, right? Or what's the name? He had a phone call on his PC today. And then in the background of that guy was also of Yoshida. Sorry, was with Yoshida. And on the background you saw also some kind of indie title, right? So maybe we see on this upcoming State of Play, maybe we see a little bit more of indie titles than we normally do. But I think the whole focus that they had on the PS4 when they launched with indie titles, that is way less, because then it was indie title this, indie title that, indie title such, and now it's a little bit less. But maybe they will refocus a little bit, because they need them also in those first couple of years.
But I think that the work that, and this is another thing I think PlayStation have lost track on, because they used to be quite in your face with ID. There used to be massive sizzler reels at previous events with ID titles from PlayStation,
which went down well.
It completely went downhill, and Xbox have done the opposite. Xbox have pushed this entire division essentially of ID at Xbox.
But because of that also, because of PlayStation.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think they've just capitalized on it and potentially, and that right now they're doing it better. And obviously the terms in which that they're putting it in, not only are they putting these ID titles on Xbox, but they're putting them into Game Pass, which is generating more sales, more people looking at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've got an avenue to go down that's going to help them. And even, like you say, that developer that I spoke to, he said he's not going to be on Game Pass day one, but that's his aim, is to be on Game Pass, because he can see the benefit from other developers and more people getting to experience their game. And that's, for an independent studio, that is the key thing. You want more people to play it.
Yeah.
It brings in, because initially when you're launching a game, you're not expecting to make a fortune off your first indie title. It's never going to happen. What is going to happen, though, is it's more name recognition. Oh, I recognize this dude because he made this really great game that I liked. And then that goes into the next one, and then that goes into the next one, and then that goes into the next one. So the more indie titles you produce that people can link you to, the better your name becomes, the better your outgoings and incoming start doing.
But don't you also think that when you're launching on Game Pass your title as an indie studio, you of course you get an amount of money when somebody plays a game when you're on Game Pass, for sure. You get a kind of percentage, and I think that plan, let's say, that strategy, I think that's super for an indie developer, because every time somebody just decides, okay, this looks interesting, let's give it a shot, Microsoft needs to pay that developer a small amount of money. So for the indie developer, it's a certain income that they are being assured of, and I think that's a really positive thing for indie developers. Yes, but in general, on Game Pass there need to be a good balance between AAA and indie, because if we only get indie titles, I'm not happy as well. I want AAA titles, and we get them. That's we saw the roadmap that is coming. So the balance will be key, and I think they are doing a good job on that. But for an indie developer like you had on the show, man, it's going to be amazing when you're on Game Pass.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see if they can ever get a good stable of AAA day one from third party.
Yes.
So can you imagine like Metro Exodus 2 or, the likes of that launching day and date on Game Pass? I think that's their next step that they need to make.
Yes. I'm waiting on that, to be honest. I had the hopes that it will be Cyberpunk because they had the marketing rights also, and you saw
give it time. That might be, you never know, that might be their final straw in the hat.
Exactly, because that is a super huge title, and if people know that, hey, it's in Game Pass and I can play all those other games as well, man, you're gonna knock it out of the park for sure. Yeah, but that's something I'm waiting for, that you see more and more, and probably when you have more users, they are going to become more budget, and it will go automatically.
100%. But as I've seen, there's quite a few developers as well have came out and said, listen, it's contrary to popular belief. People play the games and then they go out and buy the game. They don't just play the game. If they like it, they go out and buy it. People aren't going away from the fact and kind of saying, no, I've played it now, I don't want it. It's the opposite. They're doing the opposite. They're actually buying the game.
Yes.
I mean, it's me and Shom. I mean, we both played Rogue Company the other day, picked it up for a couple of £10, £12, whatever it was, and then immediately decided to buy a couple of additional characters. Yeah. we didn't have to, but we're just like, we're seeing someone using some ridiculously overpowered character online, and we're like, that's it. We need to get them. We need to get them. I need it. Need to get it. So a couple of extra pounds played in, but it happens. It happens. People are going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patjeuh, what's your thoughts on this event being only PlayStation 4 and kind of recapping on PlayStation 5 from June's event?
Yeah, it's like what Shom said. It's pretty weird, I don't know what to expect exactly. I definitely gonna watch it for sure. That's it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Like Shom said, it's pretty weird that they do this. So I already like to come back on the Game Pass kind of thing. When Xbox came with the Game Pass, I thought that PlayStation also with the backwards compatible. Sorry, I mean the backwards compatible games. I thought that PlayStation also was gonna do that, but they didn't. So like to keep your gamers happy, maybe PlayStation should also do that. Instead of the different kind of controllers and that. It's. Yeah.
But that's why competition will bring you further. And I think the indie example that we gave, because PlayStation was pushing so hard for indies, a lot of people on the Xbox side was also, hey, what is going on? We'd like to have such progress more and more, and that's why Xbox invested so much in the idea of Xbox, and that's why competition is so good. And maybe that's also what we discussed earlier, that with the PS4 controller, that they say 1 year from now, hey, your PS4 controller can also work on the PS5, because a lot of people were complaining, and also because of competition doing it. Then they always look at each other. That is 100%.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. And if they see, hey, Xbox is now getting more advantage because of that, they're gonna change it. Easy as that, because they don't want to lose the game.
You know what? It's from a stupid, and this is going into more in line with the work I do, but on another business step for shareholders and for companies worldwide, that's a massive sidestep for Sony to discount all of these controllers anyway. You're talking upwards of potentially 200 million DS4 controllers.
Yes, yeah.
Now, if what you're going to do when in 2 years' time you have 100 and potentially 120 million, well, even 2-3 years' time, 100 million people no longer playing PlayStation 4 on PlayStation 5, don't use DS4 controllers, and then you've got 200 million plastic items that now need to be recycled.
Yeah.
That's in terms of business sense, that's horrific for especially you've seen the push for being so eco-friendly and things these days. If you haven't looked as a developer or a business that's going to work with Sony going forwards for partnership deals, you've got no idea how many times when you're looking at a partnership deal, when a company looks at you and goes, okay, what's your eco credentials? What is it as a company that you do that makes sure that you're on top of your carbon footprint, etc.? If you've got 200 million controllers that are out there that now need binned or recycled, it's ridiculous. This is another thing Xbox are on top of now. They can go, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about recycling controllers. The only ones you need to recycle are the ones that are broken, completely broken. The rest of them they just work. You don't have to worry about recycling them or throwing them out.
But with the carbon footprint, they're already in a different kind of marketing phase as well, because they already said in 2030 they want to have zero waste or zero energy usage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this fits perfect in their plan. But PlayStation also, there were some rumors that the upcoming generation is going to be much smaller, right? So it's going to be only take 5 years or something like that, the upcoming generation. So that will also give the clue a little bit that your peripherals, at least in my opinion, will go with the PS6 then as well. But they are just a generation behind on that regard, I think.
Yeah. I think it's just it's just a sidestep on a business front, that one. Not so much a consumer perspective, but if they're trying to do big deals with other, again, very easy as to why Microsoft can go out in partnership with the likes of Samsung, because again, look at equal credentials. Microsoft are completely on top of the game. 2030, completely carbon neutral. And then Sony goes, yeah, we'll just bin off every controller you've ever had. And then do what? Then you're left with 200 million controllers just floating around the ether that need recycled.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a
weird
one.
Don't let the fanboys hear it, Drew, because they look from an emotional point of view in this whole discussion, I think. And then if you really look at as a consumer level, or I think it's crazy, man. But oh well.
I know. And then we step beautifully into the next topic, which is the Avengers.
Yes. Business decision, man. Business decision. Just
very much a business decision. We all kind of expect it these days from PlayStation because they are kings of third-party deals.
But
an entire character completely exclusive and not timed.
But I mean, Sony owns Spider-Man, right? The
Nope.
whole.
Nope, they do not. No, they have the movie rights, but they still don't own Spider-Man in that sense. That's why they have to keep making films, because if a certain time elapses without them using the license, it goes back to Marvel, which is owned by Disney.
Believe it or not,
Okay.
same applies for Star Wars. Disney, although they own Star Wars, they do not own everything to do with Star Wars. If they don't, for instance, you can't have got a crossover painting on the wall, which is Daffy Duck as Darth Maul. All of that stuff that was sold directly by Disney, but then all of their in-house artists were told by Lucasfilms that you're not allowed to do that anymore, so they pulled it off. So they can't sell them anymore. Same applies for things like Spider-Man. So they own the name, but they don't own the character.
No, okay, but it's already an exclusive title now on PlayStation. So it falls directly in place from what they're going for with the normal Spider-Man title. Maybe also then some people expect it, maybe. But I think that you can think whatever you want from it emotionally. I think as a consumer that a company offer you exclusive things, that's still nice to have. And that they just want to buy you in. It's just a business decision that they want to offer you something that is not available on the different kind of platform or hardware or whatever. So if they can get it by buying it, I think that's how business works in a lot of cases. And it's not always nice. And Xbox is going for a very all-inclusive strategy. But sometimes you need to be hard as well. You need to be hard on the game. But the whole 30 days exclusivity, because there was a 30 days also because some game modes or something else like that, you cannot play for 30 days. With the 30 days bullshit, I'm done with it, because that's the same with Call of Duty. You cannot play this kind of maps or something else for 30 days only on PlayStation. Oh man, get the fuck out of here. Make it 1 year or fully exclusive, but not the 30 days bullshit. I mean,
I'm the other way. I would rather something be locked for 30 days than either permanently or for a year. I mean, even with like Destiny, they had stuff that was locked for a year, and then Sony extended that, so effectively making it that Xbox doesn't get one of the strikes from Destiny. So I'd rather wait.
I don't agree with it.
Never get it.
Yes, it's not that I agree with it, Sean. But for the 30 days, I think it needs to be skipped completely, in my opinion, because it's 30 days. I mean, what the hell is 30 days? Of course,
it's only 30 days, or you could then argue it's just a month.
Yes, but it's better for everybody, because the other side can play it as well, and that's why I agree with you in some sort. But isn't it just a business how it works?
Oh, yeah. I kind of wish that Microsoft would be a bit more ruthless. I think sometimes Phil Spencer can come across too much as the nice guy. Yeah. At the end of the day, it works for Sony. It's obviously working for Sony. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting up the cash to do it. So if it's working for Sony, then why not do it yourself? There's no winning in playing in doing the moral high ground. Yeah, because gamers aren't going to go, oh well, Microsoft are doing the right thing, I'm going to buy it with them. Unless you're a hardcore Microsoft,
but you're a competitor
anyway.
Yes, you are a competitor. So for sure, Nintendo and Sony are laughing their ass off that Microsoft aren't getting so much such deals. For sure.
But if they were to do that, I'd rather them go down like the Soul Calibur route, where PlayStation got one character, Xbox got one character, Nintendo got another character. All exclusive characters. But then you could, if you were a multiple system, you go, all right, well, you're getting Spider-Man, we're getting Black Panther. That's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the moment, for a lot of people, it's kind of like, well, I'm paying 60 quid for a game that I'm missing content for. It's never going to come to me.
Nope. But if you're really a fan of Spider-Man or something else, then you're probably gonna buy a PS5 earlier than a Series X, because that's the strategy right behind it. And maybe we don't love Spider-Man so much, but maybe there's some crazy guys that adore Spider-Man, that love Spider-Man for the whole life, and they hear something, hey, I can play only the Spider-Man character on the PS5. Man, I go for the PS4 or the PlayStation version. Fuck it. Yeah, that's how it goes. But that is the thing that they want to achieve. So
I think that's why a lot of people are upset, because Spider-Man is such a big character.
Yes.
It's not an exclusive game. it's a multi-platform game. They're getting a beloved character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Spider-Man is huge, huh?
True.
It's huge.
If it was Hawkeye, nobody would care. But it's Spider-Man, so
Yeah. But yeah, I think Microsoft should be a little bit more aggressive on this
definitely.
on this part as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
I mean, like I say, the only thing Xbox do is just get the rights to publicize a game. But then you've seen how PlayStation work. As soon as a Cyberpunk trailer goes out, they'll post a Cyberpunk trailer straight after it.
Yes.
It's like yeah, you've got the rights, but we'll still post it immediately after to get people's views back on us.
And they get more views as well on those videos.
But they blocked Microsoft from using the word Destiny in any of their stuff when Destiny came out.
Yeah.
Because remember, Xbox UK got into trouble for using the Destiny aftershave. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think Phil Spencer was too happy with that because it probably broke an agreement.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And probably Sony is really strict on that part. Eh? Maybe Microsoft is a little bit more loose on that part as well. But PlayStation is really strict on that it almost seems that the title is exclusive because my nephew is 14 and he's really into Grand Theft Auto Online. And he saw on the trailers or watched some news and he said, "Hey, Air, is the new GTA remastered version, is that also coming to Xbox? Because it almost looks like it's exclusive to PlayStation." And for my knowledge, as far as I know, the updated version for the next-gen consoles will be on Xbox as well. But PlayStation managed to show it and to market it like it's only available on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
And my nephew was like,
very good at doing. They're very good at doing.
And my nephew was like, "Is it also on Xbox? Because it's exclusive to PlayStation, right?" And then I'm like, "Hey, do you know what they're getting at? You know, if you don't know so much about gaming as we do, and he's more." He likes to play a lot of games, but he doesn't really follow the news like that. But if he watch a trailer or maybe watch a website, the Telegraph or some other paper, I don't know, and he sees, hey, GTA is going to launch on PlayStation. It's going to be free. The online part is going to be to update. It's the first 3 months is free. Then you automatically think, hey, it's only available on PlayStation. That they are doing a really good job on that.
Yeah, that's it. And they've done that all generation. They kind of put that across as if something's not available on the other when it is.
Yes.
And even so much to go on and specifically showing things where it's just a PlayStation advert and then not putting anything underneath that it's on any other console. They do it all the time. It's kind of something we're used to at this point, but I think the whole, again, it's the way they've got their marketing is dialed in, and Xbox still haven't got on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's for us because we're heavily invested. We read a lot of stuff about console gaming. Is that we know to look out. Is that, is it really an exclusive? Well, let's wait and find out. Where the most people were like, oh, okay, it's your average person is like, oh, it's only on Sony. Okay, well, I could get a PlayStation because I really want to play that.
Yes. Yeah, it's smart, eh? It's the market. Yes, it's the marketing role is very successful in that regard, and that I think for the Avengers, I mean, so many people are talking about this whole stuff. That sites are gonna write about it. Xbox community is upset that the Spider-Man character is not in the game. So you create a snowball effect on this as well. Eh? So it's super smart that they do such things. And like I said, then they announced the 30 days things also. Some game modes that is now available also 30 days for the Avengers game. So the first had the message that the Spider-Man character was there, and then the day after they bring the 30 days.
That just wound everybody up.
Yes, and now you hear also the Final Fantasy is probably going to be a year time to exclusive again. So, man, they are on a roll. Yeah, they are on a roll. But good job. I like that they are being aggressive, and yeah, you can think whatever you want from it, but yeah, I like it, and I wish only that Microsoft was more aggressive.
Yeah. That goes nicely into the kind of the next section, then the next section, which is the Samsung event with Microsoft.
Yes.
Which shows, of course, specifically for the Note 20. don't know why they've just skipped 10 devices, but here we go.
Maybe because we are in the 2020.
It's really weird.
So when you're
at the immediate meeting, it was supposed to be the Note 2.0, but somebody didn't put the point in there. He was like, "Oh, the Note 20, okay, it's fine."
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
No, but we are in 2020, so if it's next year 2021, they'll probably launch a new version. That's the 21. If you go back to 11, 12, and 13, we already got that decade, right? So they just go with the years. It's 2020, so I think it's actually it's quite logic, Drew. We don't go backwards in the years. We only go.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, even though they've already got the partnership for the QLED televisions with Samsung, obviously, kind of implementing this more a partnership in terms of when you look at Samsungs in the shop, they all specifically talk about working with Xbox or Xbox apps or something that's built into the telly. This one specifically for the Note 20 and any future devices, Game Pass. Now, I do believe this kind of closes the door to a point on a partnership or any workings with iOS.
Yes.
Now, this is a bit of a
Apple's doing rather than Microsoft's, though.
So very recently, I've seen, and this isn't outside of Xbox entirely. I've seen a lot of things from a lot of different tech tubers that have clarified that Apple are doing some really, really bad decisions on the way they're handling their equipment at the moment, and kind of some of the technology they're putting inside of their devices. So I think it's more along the lines of something Apple's doing wrong, and not just on an Xbox point of view, but across the board, implementing some of the hardware and kind of software inside of their devices is going a bit knees up. Not doing as kind of the best thing, should we say. So I think from a business point of view, it's much more streamlined to go, right, we'll stick with the nice Android devices, specifically Samsung in this case, because they've got one of the best, if not best, screens on the market. And of course, 5G connectivity, it makes sense, especially when you launch Nextcloud. But to me, it's I don't know the in-depth of it, but I don't know whether or not, and specifically I would think it's going to be another one of these added options where normally now if you go into a shop, you can get kind of a subscription to Spotify or something like that along with your phone for 12 months.
Yes.
Or TV subscription. I think specifically with Samsung phones, you'll probably have the option on the side to get a 12-month subscription of Game Pass Ultimate, so you can play xCloud on the go. It's pretty straightforward, but I mean, what do you think of the marketing? I mean, what kind of TVs do you have in your house at the moment? There's Samsungs, LGs. Would it be something that makes you buy a Samsung if it was?
I have a Samsung TV, but it's not QLED or anything. It's just it's 4K, so
it's the 6 series.
That's good for me. Yeah, the 6 series. Yeah, we got the same.
Yes, we got this. I got downstairs. I got the 6 series. That's the same one as Pat.
Yeah.
I don't in size as well, Pat, or do I got a little bit bigger one?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're no.
Yes, and upstairs I have the 9 series and curved as well. I actually won that TV with a racing competition, so that was really nice to win. But Samsung for TVs when the 360 launched, the Xbox. It was the HD ready TVs, and then I already bought the Samsung as well because I thought it was the best TV at that moment. Input lag and etc. is always good on Samsung TV, so I automatically choose for that. When I need to buy a new TV now, I am thinking about maybe an LG OLED, just because I hear so many good stories about it, and I really think a screen makes a lot of difference on games. One time I went to an Xbox event in the Netherlands when the One X launched, and there you had the newer versions of the Samsungs, and man, that was already a crazy difference compared to what I have at home. But Samsung in general is a super well-known company. I have my phone from my company where I work for. It's a Samsung as well. My girlfriend has Samsung. Patjeuh, you also have 2 Samsung phones, right? The 9 and the 10, I believe.
No, I got the S4 as well.
Yeah.
No, it's not S4. I don't know. It's for my
S9.
work. It's for my
Yes.
work. So
But you have private. You have the S9, right?
S10.
I got
S10.
S10.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So it's such a big brand. I think the collaboration is very, very smart. If you
Yeah,
want
it's
to,
really good.
if you want to push your cloud service more, then this is the
Being like an S10 owner, do I get the benefits they were talking about? I was a little bit unsure about that.
Yeah. I think it's just because the launch and the talk that was the announcement for the S20, and kind of showing the S20 off, or the Note 20, sorry, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because they're showing that phone off, they were like, right, these are all the additions that come with it. So it includes, I think it's on for them. It potentially includes Game Pass with the
Yeah, they get 3 months
on launch. Yeah,
Yeah, you get 3 months on launch. Yeah.
From what I was
So-
reading, there's something about because you've got the Play Store, but you've also got the Galaxy Store, and by putting in the Galaxy Store, they're able to bypass some of the restrictions that Play Store has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
I don't know exactly what those restrictions are and how that benefits me, but
You also gain points. You gain points or something to use on Galaxy Store. Am I wrong or right? Something along those lines.
Yeah, but it's also that if you buy through the Google, the Play Store, they take a 30% cut from every purchase they got. So I think it's even the Xbox Store where you eventually buy from with this kind of system, and then they don't count the 30% cut because that is the biggest reason I think that they have such a deal like this now. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's essentially launching this to go alongside, specifically for people who don't have an Xbox, to be able to then purchase that through the Galaxy Store and purchase a subscription to play xCloud on the move. Then,
And you also get a controller with it.
Yes.
Is that the Moga controller?
Yeah. That's the one you get when you pre-order or when you take the Samsung S20 on launch. They will give you the 3 months description and also the wireless controller, the Bluetooth controller.
Yeah, and $250 cashback or something like that, right? Also, because it's an expensive thing, but you get a lot of stuff because the phone was like €1,000 or $1,000 or something like that.
yeah, it's quite
Yeah,
expensive.
it could be. Yeah, it
Super
is expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we are complaining about the new consoles being maybe €500 or €600.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
I like the look of the Razer one.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yes, it's
Yeah, this
sideways.
one. Yeah, that's the controller you get when you get it at launch.
but you're right,
No,
Steve. I like the one that's looking like the Switch.
Yeah. But it's like £100 and it's just like
Yes, a lot.
For
It's
something
a lot.
I probably won't use that often. It's a lot of
No.
money. I'd rather buy just a cheap clip for my pad.
Exactly, works
then-
great.
Yeah, I got the same. I got the clip for my controller, put my phone on, and it works perfect. So
Yeah, and you're playing with your famous Xbox controller that you already have. Yeah, that controller, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that looks wicked, but yeah, it's like 120 quid, something like that. And I'm not forking out that much.
Yeah, same.
what? Is it like $100?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I suppose it's
That's
good if you commute to work a lot and you
Yeah.
know you're sat on a bus or a train or the underground or something you can access, then it's probably worth it. But for me, the odd time I'm in an airport or somewhere like that, then maybe. But no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
It has like the looks of the PSP, the PlayStation Portable. I don't know. It with the phone between it. I don't know. Yeah, and like Erwin says, the Switch as well.
Yeah.
But it's like what Ryan McCaffrey tweeted out the other day that everybody wanted the X-Boy, the Game Boy only then on the Xbox. This you are now in a position that you have it, so it's really nice, and I think it can be successful. I think we already discussed that in episode 2 or 1, I don't know, about the Asian market. Really can take advantage of this. I think in Korea they have already deals with some provider as well. And then the streaming part on your phone can be a huge deal for them in those regions.
Yeah. massive deal, to be fair. For me, I've already got the Moga clip that you got at X019.
Yeah.
And I've got an abundance of controllers to use with it, so I'm not short there. I've got no reason to run out and get one, but there's plenty of choice. That's the main thing. Again,
Options,
choice.
yeah. Options. It's
So
just
many options.
And it's just play the software that they have on almost every device there is.
Yeah.
That's their goal, eh? And I think they're doing a good job on that. And let's see if the snowball keeps running, because that's what they want to create.
Yeah, almost definitely. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Primarily for go on.
What maybe we can discuss that later. But what did you thought about Pikmin Deluxe? Did you saw it? Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Nintendo, because there was some kind of Nintendo Direct stuff there.
Was that shadow dropped? Because I missed that.
Oh no, yeah, I just saw it because sometimes I'm watching on trending on Twitter, and then I saw Nintendo, so I clicked on it, and then I saw a lot of people in the Netherlands were talking about it, that there is another version of Pikmin coming, Pikmin 3, but it's gonna be a deluxe version, so it's not gonna be a new version, another Pikmin 4, and a lot of people are quite pissed off about it, but they're still gonna buy it. It's sometimes really interesting to watch when something is trending. And then you watch people's reaction, like casual people, and then you watch their reactions. It's really funny to do sometimes. But it's Pikmin 3, but it's announced just on Twitter or just like a small direct or something like that. But yeah, I missed it as well. But then I saw it was trending. Yeah. But I never played it. I just saw it. But this was the first thing that I saw when I saw it. It was like, my kid's gonna like this for sure. Yeah.
I don't know the game. Never seen it.
2-player co-op.
Yeah.
It's even better for kids. No, I completely missed out on it. No, Pikmin was actually quite a funny game. Kena, obviously, if you've watched the the video for Kena, it's the first thing that it reminded me of.
Yeah.
When you see all the little weird animals and things running towards her, that was just Pikmin all day, every day.
There's a trailer. Can you maybe show the trailer as well, just real quick?
Yeah. Where was it?
Maybe
all the way on top.
On top of the page, Drew.
Oh yeah.
You
I know, Nintendo might community strike you.
But you should give it a shot sometimes to watch things that are trending, and then you laugh your ass off sometimes. Yeah?
I have no idea what kind of game this is. I've never seen this.
No, me neither. I wasn't into this as well, but I watched the trailer. I was like, okay, this is probably going to be cool for the kids.
Yeah, it looks like a kids game, yeah.
For some reason, my streaming video whilst streaming video is acting up recently. There we go. Knock it down a bit. No, it's always been quite a kid's game, but you essentially collect different types of Pikmin, pluck them out of the ground, gather an army of Pikmin, and then go and defeat kind of bosses and solve puzzles and things like that, as you can see there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just a deluxe version, so probably some extensions and stuff like that. But
that's funny.
No Pikmin 4. Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably still pick it up, to be fair, because I enjoyed Pikmin.
Yeah. But that's what a lot of people said. Yeah, they were pissed off. It wasn't Pikmin 4, but they said, we'll pick it up anyway.
It's Nintendo fans for you.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it.
Typically Nintendo. Yeah.
Shake their fists while lining up queuing to get it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
No, it's a daft game, but it's an easy one to play. Sometimes you just need easy things. I mean, I was playing The Tourist before. That's just came on the Game Pass. Have you all had a chance to play that yet?
No.
Tourist? No, not yet.
I've downloaded it. I just don't have a TV to play it on just yet.
It's I'm 50% of the way through. I've played 2.5 hours, so it's not a big game.
Okay.
But it's a pretty game, especially for like a pixel art type 2D/3D game. It's quite fun. It's just a puzzle game. There's no fighting or anything in it. It's just something you can easily relax to when you just I want to sit back and do not much. Not too hard on the puzzles either. It's kind of nice intermediate. You don't have to think too much. It's more just like a physics-based puzzle game. How do I get this over here and things like that. So
Okay, well, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice for a chill out, and I think sometimes you need that. You need to be able to switch off from these difficult games we kind of find ourselves into, or shooting games and things all the time. There we go. I mean, it took me by surprise. I didn't expect Pikmin 3 news, but there's been shadow dropping information all the time. I don't understand why they don't just have an event.
I think they dropped it on Twitter or something like that, and that's why I also saw reacting some people like, oh, you do a Twitter Direct or something like that people were pissed off that it was on the Nintendo Direct or something like that. So, yeah, it was surprising.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Very, very odd. Very odd. Like I say, I'll probably get it in the future. I will not be getting it at $49.99 though.
No, but that's Nintendo. Eh? They just after 3 years they ask for Zelda still £60 or what is it, €60? It's crazy. They never drop a price
ever.
No,
Ever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Even secondhand in stores in like video game stores, they're still nothing lower than what you find in digital. It's ridiculous.
But I think the Switch also didn't drop in price, right? Because those things are still sold out everywhere almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's very few you can find. I mean, it's you can see them and people selling them at like double the price you can find in store and things like that, and people are buying them.
Yeah.
And it's just very, very odd. Very odd.
Very PUBG.
Oh yes, very PUBG odd. Dear me. What do you guys think we will see then going into? Of course, we know that the state of play from. Do we expect state of play to have another one end of the month that might be more PlayStation 5 centric, or do you think they go? That's it for this month, and maybe September we'll see another state of play?
I think we'll see another one in August.
Yeah.
Whether it be Gamescom related, around that kind of time when Gamescom normally would be on.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve.
Yeah.
I normally you have Gamescom, and that was they had typically shows over there as well, right? And inside Xbox or PlayStation had a show or something like that. So they're probably gonna announce something, and I think there's they can wait up to launch with the price, but I think they should announce it sometime because you want those pre-orders already settled in, right? And people expect that to do also because the money is burning in the pockets to do so. But maybe they do this just to let Xbox kick off maybe in and around 20 August, something like that, and they kick off at the end of August to maybe overclass them, just to wait a little bit and counter. Like normally Jose Maria was playing with Chelsea, right? Always on the counter attack.
Yeah.
I think this is also the game PlayStation is now playing. Just wait till Xbox announced the Series S, the price, the exact launch date, and etc. And let's knock them out because that's what they did last time, also in 2013 at E3. Then Xbox announced, it's going to be $499 with the Kinect, and then the day after, or what was it? PlayStation announced it's going to be $399, and we're 100 euros cheaper than the other guys. So. I think you can see some interesting stuff going to happen around there. But August probably going to be the big blowout for the two for sure.
I hope so. I wouldn't. As it stands right now, I've got. This is just for me. Might not be the same for everybody else, but I've got no reason. There is no reason there for me to worry about missing out on a launch for PlayStation. Like, there is no reason for me to get a PlayStation on launch day right now.
Loading time, man. I said it the last time. If the loading time is going to improve so much, like they promise, even on if GT Sport work on the PS5, and it's gonna have better loading times, then probably I'm gonna get it at launch.
Did you guys, by the way, see like one store in France? It's called Carrefour. It's
a supermarket.
and they leaked some images of prices of the PlayStation 5 and the stuff. Yeah,
I saw that. It
so
was
I'm not. $4.99 for the standard edition and $3.99 for the digital edition.
Yeah,
but it's not sure if this is true. But
I mean, the one thing that I disagree with there is I don't think $100 is the drop for a 4K Blu-ray drive now. They're not that expensive.
No.
They can't justify £100 difference for a 4K Blu-ray drive.
It's no, but marketing perspective, it's gonna be a difference, huh?
Yeah.
Also to be more competitive to the Series S, because they also know it's coming. Everybody knows.
But you would also think, though, to counteract, and this is one thing they haven't clarified yet, is the all digital edition going to be a higher hard drive spec than the disc?
Should be, because if it's digital, you need more storage, right?
Well, it's all digital anyway, because it just comes from disk and you got to download it, so it doesn't really make a difference.
I know, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Dear me. But then again, you've got, and especially after your day one patches for each console, that 825 gig is going to go down.
It's not normal. Yes, it's super fast. Yeah. It's gone super fast, and
it's like you can probably, especially on, yes, they're going to condense the new games and the sizes of them, but you're talking maybe 7-8 games and it'll be full.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I hope the Xbox periphery isn't too expensive.
Yeah,
especially only coming at a terabit at a time. I don't want to have to keep unplugging and putting them in. Just like, which game have I got on here? Right, no, that's not the right one. Let's get another one out.
Yeah.
Are you the external SSD that they have, Sean? You mean with that one?
Yeah, with the little
cartridge.
Yeah. They're only going to be 1 terabit to begin with. Whereas at the moment I've got two terabits plugged into the USB, but they need it to be plugged directly into their little slot.
Yeah. But it's probably gonna expensive, don't you think? I think it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be like 130 just for a terabit.
Yes.
Yeah. Completely agree. Completely agree. But even you're saying even that though, it's still, if you're getting the Series X, one of them, and you've already got Game Pass, you're still probably going to undercut PlayStation at launch anyway. Yeah,
and that is key for their show, to show the difference. That's key for their show.
And speaking of the different models, we've heard from a source that has enlightened us, that has been on the show last week, that the original mock-up for Lockhart seems to be probably true.
Yes.
The white cube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you show it on screen maybe also, Drew?
White cube? The small one?
Yeah. So the fan-made that you have already for a couple months. That one, yes. That one is probably going to be true. Maybe a little bit taller, a little bit, but it's probably going to look like this. And that also explains the controller that was last found on the internet. That somebody leaked, the white Series X controller. That probably explains why it was white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because first I was thinking maybe it's I made this controller by the Xbox team.
Yeah.
Xbox
Special edition. Yeah.
Oh man, that was really nice. I still want that controller, but it's a different subject. But
I really like this design, by the way, like the small cube.
Yes.
It really looks. It really looks really nice.
Yeah, I want it. I think I want it just to add to my collection, I think.
Then we've also got the little post rumor that popped up here with the white Lockhart controller with the black buttons on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit more. I mean, that you can you can tell that unless someone's 3D printed their own controller, which is very unlikely because it's a fully working controller with a button in the middle.
Yeah. Hey, and
So-
what don't you also see isn't the inside of the controller, is it a little bit grayish like the Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right there.
Little touch, yes, little touch. But so I do think this is real. And if it really looks like this, man, it's gonna be crazy, man. I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I always like white consoles, especially.
To be fair to me, that's a perfect thing for if you've got multiple rooms where, for instance, one room you sit and game most of the time and things like that, and that's like kind of your certain section.
Yep.
Then you've also got more of a family room, which is like the living room and things like that. The Series S is going to be the perfect thing to just plug in there. If you're having more of a casual thing, then just play on that little.
That's my idea because I have now the One S downstairs and the One X upstairs in my gaming room, and I'm gonna replace it with the Series X upstairs and probably this one for downstairs in the family room.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I think personally, it's in terms of if you're buying multiple SKUs, then getting the Series X, putting that upstairs where you play, like you've got with your racing setup and things like that. That's where you're going to be putting your main hardware. Whereas again, if you've got something downstairs, you're going to be wanting to put something nice and neat and small and things not too overbearing for the family room.
No.
But then again, if kids want to play something, then it's nice and easy. It's not like.
Yeah. But I think.
So
Go ahead.
Go on, Patjeuh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I prefer this white console in my living room instead of the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Chess is also saying, you can always wrap it and get skins for it. Maybe that will go a little bit more down the road that they come up with skins. But that's what I like for Xbox 360 with the faceplates. Man, that was nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
If we go to D-Brand now, I can show you straight away. If we go into skins. Skins.
You already have? Oh, yeah, you already have. On the right bottom. Yeah.
Ooh,
right.
There we go.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't have Series S on here, but there we go.
No, not yet. Holy shit.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, man, that's cool.
Oh, look at the green one.
Well, that one.
No, the one on the top left, the green.
The Rossi, the Valentino Rossi green.
The third row first.
Down.
Yeah, that one.
That's gonna hurt your eyes, Pat, for sure.
Oh my!
Oh, it's not too bad.
Why? No, look at that! Oh my god! Yeah, I like it. I like that. Damn. Yeah, that looks nice.
But yeah, the top must be black because you need to have some contrast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How much is that? Drew?
$57. So $40 for the full thing and controller. You take off the controller, that chops $7 off.
Okay.
So you can just bin that off.
Can you do the PS5 now? Because I don't like, and I said I like white consoles, but this PlayStation 5 I actually like better in black.
Digital or normal?
Yeah, the digital, because if I'm gonna buy a version, it's gonna be the digital without the ugly Blu-ray drive. Yeah, this is more looking like a V, and if you can do it full black, not like this.
Have you not seen the rumored full black one?
Yeah, I saw it today. Actually.
Yeah.
Jess Gordon posted it also,
Yeah.
and also a fan made it also a couple of months ago, I think.
It
Look this. Oh man, with the blue lights, I'm gonna love. Yeah. I'm gonna need a new cabinet for my.
The only thing I see now is the white controller. I don't even see the PlayStation anymore.
Oh, Drew, this one is nice, with the blue one. The middle thing.
That's
And
pretty
you can even change the base on it as well. So if you want to have a blue base, you can have a blue base.
Nice. That's nice. This is not too bad,
pretty
mate.
cool.
This is not too bad.
Yeah, so you can. I mean, that's a good thing about D-Brand. They come out with things. I mean, they always drop these things before things are being unveiled. Like every year, without doubt, they will put on a picture of the brand new Samsung Galaxy phone before they've unveiled the actual phone itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this controller actually looks like the controller that was leaked today. It
Yeah.
was full black with white buttons.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence. It's the same.
So, yeah, but you can pretty much do anything on here, anything you want. But they've got wood. If you want to do wood, you've got matte colors, metal colors, leathers, stones, carbon fiber.
But that answers the question for Chess then as well.
Oh yeah,
In the chat. Also, thank you for everybody in the chat.
yeah.
Still
Thanks for everybody jumping along. But
Yes.
that's the thing. If you hate the colors, there's always options. If you don't spray or take apart things like I do, companies like Dbrand will be able to cover it for you anyway, straight away.
I want an Xbox Pope one.
Yeah. Well, he's bringing out skins, isn't he? So
No, he should. He'll make a mint.
yeah.
He's gonna release skins, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see how that goes. We shall see. But no. I mean, it just tie nicely into the next kind of one, which is straight from this into talking about what we're expecting from Xbox for the August event. When do you think that August event will be? Near the middle? Near the end?
Middle.
Middle.
Around 20 October or 20
Something
August.
like that.
So I think it will. You have the week starting on 17, and last time it was on a Wednesday, right? The show. So
Yeah.
probably it's going to be the 19th.
Thursday.
The 19th of August is going to be my best guess.
19th of
that's-
August. What's everyone hoping to see then?
Price?
Price. Release date. Maybe a tease of what some of the other studios are doing. Not all of them, because I don't think it's good to know everything that they're all doing. I think it's nice to have something for next year or the year after. If we know exactly what every single studio and every subdivision of their studios are doing, then come next year it'll be boring. She's like, yeah, all right, well, we know this. So I'd like some mystery, but I want to know what the initiative's doing at least.
Yes, one drop, one big boom. I think we need.
Even if it's a title name.
Yes, one little mic drop moment, but also the date of launch, the launch date. I think that's what we're really looking for. And I think also that we discussed last time, the difference compared to the One X and the One S. What is the speed of the SSD? How fast can I load up CFTs? Because it takes now almost 2 minutes or longer to boot up CFTs. I heard in rumors from a couple of months ago that it only takes 5 seconds now on the series. So please show me that.
Instead of 5 minutes, right?
That's a funny thing. Digital Foundry have literally just had it on before coming on this podcast. They have just did a little experiment switching out the disk drive or the hard disk drive in the PlayStation 4 Pro to the fastest available SSD.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it chopped off 68% loading time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
With no optimization, it chopped off. It went from being about a minute and a half to load a game to just a minute.
Yeah. So it's going to be ridiculously fast.
And that's just your bog standard SSD you can pick up off the shelves now. That's nothing to do with next gen. So
velocity stuff.
Yeah.
But show us that, please. We wanna see such things, because that will give us a reason as consumers to buy your product. And if they cannot show me, then probably I'm gonna just play on my One X and then get maybe a PS5 for launch just for fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I will be getting a PS5. It's just a case of right now. For me, I got the PlayStation 4 for exclusives. Now, I've still got a battle of exclusives to play on the PlayStation 4. So I've got no reason right now, other than load times. And I'm not spending £500 for faster load times. I do want some more games to be able to play, some new games, something that's going to blow me socks off. Xbox have got more titles coming up so far, a bigger, longer roadmap than PlayStation have shown me. So right now I can say, right, okay, I know I'm going to have the best version of Cyberpunk on launch, which is always a good start. I'm going to have Halo Infinite. I'm going to have the medium. I'm going to have an abundance of games at launch that's going to keep us occupied for quite a lot of hours.
Mhm.
PlayStation, I don't see that right now. Godfall doesn't interest me one bit.
No.
Miles Morales, I've never been a fan of superhero games, so I'm not going to be picking up Spider-Man. So that's another one out the door. So right now, there's nothing to interest me on picking that up. And GT7's not even a launch title.
No. Is Ratchet & Clank a launch title?
I don't even think it is, you know.
Man, if that's not the case, then I will do it as well. Fuck it.
Yeah. I think that's closer to Christmas, so maybe it's around Christmas, if not beginning of 21.
Yeah, begin next year, I guess.
Oh man. Then there are almost no reasons, yeah?
Yeah, there's no reason so far to upgrade before Christmas, apart from if you're a die-hard PlayStation fan and you just need new hardware. There's no logical reason for the Xbox. I've got the logical reason of the entire backlog is going to get updated immediately to run better than it ever has.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about peripherals. All my games are going to run faster, and I'm also going to have an abundance of new games on launch. I've got a wide variety of reasons that I'm going to get Series X on launch day. It's going to make everything better for me and all of the games I've already got. So
yeah, and PUBG automatically probably 60 frames as well, right, on the Series X. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If the frame rate, because you have that frame rate mode now, that's already unlocked. Probably the Series X will kick that up to 60. So I fully expect that it will do so. I still didn't DM the guy that I was talking about. I'm gonna do it right now. To answer that question.
Yes. You mentioned
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I mentioned it. And now I know we're talking about it. I think about it. So I'm giving it.
I'm surprised a Bluehole not said anything themselves.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes. Why not? Right?
It's not Bluehole anymore.
Who is it? PUBG Corp, isn't it?
Crafton.
Who?
It's Crafton. Crafton.
Crafton.
Yes.
Okay.
Bluehole. It's like what I know. Normally when you start up PUBG, you see Bluehole, blah blah, you know. But since like already like half year or something, it's Crafton. Crafton. How do you say it?
When did they have they just changed the name, or does Bluehole not work on it anymore? Or
I have no idea. I just like what I said, like half a year ago, maybe a little bit earlier. They already changed it. I don't know why or when exactly.
Okay, yeah. So what they've said, what I've managed to find so far is there is something that we still haven't heard about, even though they are so close, and that is anything regarding PUBG's next-gen version. Interviews and comments have hinted towards a next-gen version in development, but that is it so far. So there isn't an official announcement, but they have a few of the developers and people that are in charge over there have said that there will be a next-gen version, or at least an update on that for it going forward. So God knows what that'll be. But
yeah. And what do you think about the new game of PUBG? Because like, when was it, with the E3 event last year?
They said they were making.
They had like, they had like what was it, like 30-second trailer kind of thing, and from player unknown. So that's the only thing that they announced. They didn't show us more kind of stuff of that. So I'm curious. Maybe I hope maybe we will get more this year. But it looked pretty interesting, first person. So yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's called Prologue.
Yeah, Prologue. Yeah, exactly.
That's a bit of a strange one. So what's everyone else hoping to see at the event then?
Maybe some third-party stuff also.
So we want to see Lockhart. We want to see release dates and pricing eventually. It's the longest we've been in a generation that we haven't had a price or a release date. Yeah. We've already had it. Come June, we've already had it by this point because of E3. So it's very. This is the longest we've ever had this. It's 2 months later, and we still haven't had a release date or a price.
It's crazy.
So weird.
It's crazy.
So weird. And it allows you've got to think as well, if you take out the whole fanboy perspective, regardless of which side of the fence you're on, whether that's PlayStation or Xbox, your average consumer or family, especially coming up to Christmas, need to know how much they need to save to get their kids the next console. How much am I going to have? How much am I going to have to lay down, or how much am I going to have to save up? And is it 400, 500, 600, 700, 800? How much do I need to find? And they're leaving it so late in the day.
But they need to market it as well. I mean, the marketing the machine needs to get working as well. On that part, to show the parents, hey, we are launching a new generation of consoles for this and this price on that kind of certain date. So the marketing machine needs to get rolling as well. And you want to inform your, not the fanboys or stuff like guys that are very well known in the business as we are, but just normal people need to know that there are new generation of consoles coming at some point. So they have then 3 months to prepare that, or to up to launch to show that to people. And then the consumer can make the best choice, but they need to inform the people as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's getting the information out there to people so they can actually save up for it. Like I say, we're thankful we've got jobs we can pay for these things, but when you've got a much larger family and you've got got normal bills to pay for, you've got several kids. Again, the older they get, the more expensive the stuff they want are. You could have 2 kids asking for the same thing. If you've got 2 kids of similar age, one wants an Xbox, one wants a PlayStation, automatically that's around 1,000 before you've even thought about games.
Yeah. I'm lucky that they are still young, Drew.
So far.
You flip a coin and then the loser has to wait till next year.
Yes. Yeah. But then they need to start their marketing campaigns. Anyway, so I don't think they can wait longer till August if they really want to bring their message across.
Yeah. And naturally, it's Xbox, by the way, Shez.
Yeah.
Always Xbox first. PlayStation's always an afterthought. No, it's not. No, Xbox all day long. Especially if they ever go online. It's a much better community.
I was laughing last week. I have one of my 2 kids are. He's not. I'm not the real father. He has another biological father. Keanu, and he came home with us because he's 1 week at his father and the other week he's with us. And this week he brought a new backpack with him, and it was a PlayStation branded. What is this kind of trash?
Get out!
So next time I will give one of my backpacks to him to bring to his father. But it was funny to see. I have no problem with that. Yeah.
It's always thing. It's a good joke to have, though, isn't it? You've got to have silly little jokes like that.
And they know, or he knows, that I'm really a fan of Xbox, and I go to all the events. But I have the PlayStation 4 Pro as well, and he didn't know that. So the other day I was playing Gran Turismo, and he's like, "Do you have Gran Turismo?" He says, "That's not an Xbox, right?" I said, "No, that's correct. That's on Play." "Do you have a PlayStation?" you always have Xbox, right? Why do you have a PlayStation? It was super funny.
Yeah, I get that all the time, especially when they see like we do. We post a lot of things about Xbox and things all the time, and people just assume that you don't know anything about PlayStation or you don't play on PlayStation.
No, I like it a lot actually, but I'm just more of a. That's the same with soccer, right? Some football clubs you like, but you're a fan of one club, and you're a real diehard fan for that. But that doesn't mean that you're an asshole, or you have to be an asshole towards the other community, right?
Exactly.
That's a lot of people forget to act like that.
Yeah, they do treat it more like really big rivals in football than they do anything else. Yeah. It's not. Well, let's face it. But it's not football. I mean, the funny thing is about like Apple and Samsung is you can have a joke with people about Apple and Samsung, and it is just adds that, "Oh, you're an Apple fan," but it's a joke. No one actually takes it seriously. They just have a nice joke about it. This is Xbox and PlayStation, especially online, is the closest you'll ever be to having an intense football rivalry.
So,
like, some people just go overboard, really overboard. Like calling people Xbots and ponies and things all the time. It's
and X-Facts and oh man, it's. But I like to make jokes also sometimes, but never try to make it personal. And that's what a lot of people forget to do, I think. But it's a shame, really, and I think we all should get along. And I think in the end we are just gamers, right? No matter what, we are all gamers, and we should appreciate that.
Exactly, and it's going along that note as well. It's especially these PlayStation developers that couldn't understand why they were getting so much hate for putting their games on PC.
Yeah,
we're like, surely you'd want more people to experience something that you love. Why would that be a bad thing?
Yes, but it isn't. There is no bad thing. That's the crazy thing. But they are so locked in that whole exclusive part that they don't want other people to enjoy their games as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah,
Even
the Corey from God of War that he wants to be on PC, right?
That's one thing I was just about to say there. Actually, I'm very surprised that's not already on PC or being announced yet, because he said he would love to have it on PC.
Yeah, but it's not up to him, he said. So probably will happen.
But Herman Hulst, being in charge of PlayStation now, I think he's going to be pulling that trigger very soon. He's very, 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 very much advocating putting PlayStation games on there.
I wonder at the moment, watching Microsoft have 4 of their games in the top 10 on Steam. They've got to take notice of that. They've got to see the money that's available.
And they're not. I mean, one of them's not even a big game. That's a small team. A small team within a big team. Grounded. Who would have thought that flew up so high?
Yeah. But PlayStation is also not crazy, and that's why they're putting, like I said, step by step. They're gonna search more of that area and that market, and for sure they do, but they just do it slow. Microsoft went all in. Okay, we're gonna put all our games on PC, on the Microsoft Store, and later also on Steam, and you see that is being successful, and they're just making more money, and that's what it's all about in this business. Money in the end.
Yeah, they're not going to turn down potential millions and millions of dollars just to appease.
It's the biggest market. There's 1.2 billion people play it on PC.
Yeah, but
whether or not you can play at that level of computer is another thing. But there is still a market of 1.2 billion players.
Gunstar is already leaving. Okay, bye. But but it's the software where it's at, right? Where they make their money, and not so much on the hardware part. Of course, it's nice that you sell so much consoles. That's very good, but the software part is where it is. So if they can double dip on there, why wouldn't they do it? And when more people, for the fanboys, if, like you said, if more people can play the game you love, what is wrong with it?
Where's the negatives? Where's the absolute negatives in that?
No,
there isn't any. There isn't any negatives. But I mean, I haven't played any of them on PC yet, but I've heard good things about how much better optimized they are compared to PlayStation 4 Pro, which surprises me. I would have thought they would have had it dialed in much better on their home console than they would on the PC, but apparently it's still very much more optimized on PC for especially Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn, which a few people have played already. So that's a very, very well optimized, and it looks unbelievable. But I can imagine that anyway. I can imagine that because that was a beautiful game as it was.
Yeah, and can you imagine then running at maybe 60 frames per second, right? Also, so it's going to be fluid as hell. It's going to be more crispy, maybe better, higher resolution textures. That game is going to blow your socks off already. That's next gen. That's almost next gen already, man.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I've already pre-installed Flight Sim.
I don't have a PC for that, mate. So I wish I could. So I'm actually very, very, very disappointed that it's not on Xbox.
Yet.
But I'm not buying anything yet. I want it now because it's releasing now. So if they want to play, that slogan, if everybody plays, we all win. That's the slogan that they use. then don't leave us Xbox gamers behind on that part, right? Same with Age of Empires when it was only releasing on PC and not Xbox. Then why call it Xbox Game Studios? Fuck it then, just release it together. But I think more and more people are complaining about that, so hopefully that will address. And sometimes when I talk to the guys on the team, as you know, I know a couple guys, then it's always a comment that I bring up.
Yeah. The one thing that I took away from Digital Foundry's video the other day on Flight Sim was it was running at high settings on PC. There or there about 60 frames on a GTX 1060.
Yep.
Now, if we can expect that from what is probably what you class as a mid-range card now, if not kind of a lower-end card now, then on Series X, it's going to be, I'm expecting it to be on par with top tier. I'm fully expecting it to be on 2080 level and ultra settings, 60 frames, no issues.
Beautiful game, by the way. I saw the video of Digital Foundry. Man, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And at the X070, we played it.
Yes,
and the guy from Alexander from Digital Foundry, he said also, I found it very relaxed while playing. And that was my feeling as well. It was a super busy show over there, a lot of people around you at the X019. But when I was playing that game, I had my headset on, I was playing on the rim, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it so much. It was so relaxing. I forgot about whole the show. I was just into the setting and etc. And
what challenge did you go for? Because I went for I think mine was just going for bad weather.
I don't know exactly. I just did a tour. I didn't do anything special. I went very close to the water, very, very close, like 1 meter or something, like almost crossing into the water. But I was just flying above the city. I think it was in Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Where Maradona played in that stadium, I believe, something like that. And I just checked the football stadium over there and just fly over. And man, it was a very relaxing experience, and that's what I'm sometimes really looking for, just to kick back and relax. And this will be a game that will probably do that. And
clear your mind.
Are you a Geordie, Drew?
Yeah, I've inherited the Geordie accent now, haven't I?
Are you? Yeah. Okay.
WandrinDutch.
Wandering George.
But no, I'd say I chose the option because he said you can either go for just a fly around at XO, or you can kind of have a look through the different weather cycles, times a day, try and fly through difficult weather and things like that. So I was like, yeah, I'd show us everything. I want to see everything you can show us. Because that's another thing. Like one of the big games I used to play with my father when I was younger was Flight Sim. Combat Flight Sim, normal Flight Sim. We had all of the force feedback joysticks, all of the pedals, you name it, we had it. And so I'm so looking forward to just jumping on this game again. And the only thing I don't like about it is the pricing structure they've got for it.
Yeah, it's
with the planes and airports.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, you
pretty
get the
expensive.
Standard edition on Game Pass, of course, but it's only got like 20 planes or something, which isn't very much, but they're highly detailed. But then the Ultra edition or something, which is like 110. It's got like every plane available, but again, it's one of them service games that can just, all they need to do is just release new model planes. But from what I've seen from Digital Foundry, the level of detail for the insides, never mind just normal. The outsides, isn't. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's not normal.
Yeah, it's like over the top. It's like stitching on everything and glare and. Not even exclude. They haven't even got ray tracing in it yet, and they've already got like real-time reflections and stuff inside the cockpit.
But they need to buy that studio, Drew. That
Osobo. Osobo, 100%.
Yeah, I like the Plague Tale also. Very, very good game. I highly recommend everybody playing a Plague Tale. It's on Game Pass as well, I think still. And it's a very good experience, that game, and it gives me sometimes a little bit of the Last of Us feeling.
Yeah.
How it played and etc. It was very good. I liked it a lot. But that developer it seems to be quite talented, huh?
Well, yeah, it's their own engine, isn't it?
Also,
engine.
Yeah.
It's the same for Flight Sim. They said that they took the old MS engine, but also used their own. So. Yeah.
Maybe they should use this engine for Halo Infinite.
Oh God, I know. Imagine Imagine if they put what they mentioned on about Flight Sim was just the level of detail. They said specifically, obviously the game's 150 gig, but if you needed to load in all of the data for the game itself, it would actually be closer to 2 petabytes.
Yeah, it's great, and also the amount of data that you use is quite big, eh?
Yeah. It's I think he said it was a couple of hours, and he used something like 7 gig.
7 gigs, yeah, 10 or 20 hours.
Heck.
For a couple, for it wasn't even it was about 10 hours worth of gameplay, and it was 7 gig worth of internet data used.
Yeah.
For streaming it all in. Yeah, mate. But even if you're still streaming in data to generate the world map and all of the terrain and everything that they've already pre-built, if you're still generating that and getting 60 frames, that's some wizardry.
Yeah, it
Being
is.
able to stream in all that info and still getting a high amount there is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What else then? What else other than, obviously for me, Flight Sim's one of the big ones. I want to see kind of a release date for console for that as well, because I would play it on PC. Like I say, thankfully I know it's going to run at high settings on PC for what I've got, but I want to play it on Series X, so I want to see a release date for that. But what other games are you keen to see more of or want to see? Across the board, Patjeuh, we'll start with you because you've been relatively quiet this evening. What do you want to see?
What do I want to see? Yeah. That's a good one, by the way. I like to see some more. I like to see some gameplay of Cyberpunk.
Yeah. On the Series X.
Yeah. That's one of the games I really like to see, and that's also a game I really want to play. So.
Yeah.
That's my main game.
Pre-ordered, or?
No, not yet. Well, I'm not a pre-order guy. You know, like normally I will wait till the game is launched, and then after that I will buy it, maybe. So we're about to see. I have no idea yet what I'm gonna buy or what I'm gonna get. So
yeah. Are you have you liked the look of the Crossfire X campaign? Then is that something that you'll be jumping into straight away?
No.
Campaign.
No.
The campaign. Not the online. No.
I didn't like the multiplayer of Crossfire X, so no, I'm not gonna play the campaign.
No, not for you.
No, not for me. So
you don't want to give it a chance, but maybe the multiplayer wasn't so good, but that's a different team. This is the guys from Remedy, right? Who made Alan Wake and stuff like that. Maybe they can really make a good single player. Why not?
Yeah,
it's on Game Pass, right, guys? Or no?
Yep. Well, no.
The single campaign isn't.
No, the campaign is not.
Bastards.
Yes. The multiplayer is, the campaign is not. Remedy did a dirty on that one.
No, but I'm not gonna play that game. No.
Fuck it then.
No, not for me. Not for me. But also, it's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave this stream earlier because it's already like 11 p.m. and I got an early morning tomorrow, so pretty tired as well. Got a busy day, woke up early, so
don't worry about it.
I'm pretty tired
That's okay,
as well. So
don't worry about it, buddy.
Nah, of course. Next time I'll be there again. So
most definitely, we'll have a little bit more to talk about after this PlayStation stream tomorrow and things like that. We'll see if we might have a little bit more news on Xbox, but we'll go from there. See what happens.
We still managed 2 hours, Drew. So we have plenty.
Oh yes, we've plenty to go into.
And maybe I wanna know, because that's maybe the last thing that we discussed. The Battletoads. I see some more Battletoads gameplay now and then on Twitter. Did they change something? Because now it looks pretty good, the combat. I don't know what changed, but
I think from what we played at X019, they've obviously took that on board, because we've heard nothing since then on the game. But it looks far quicker, a lot more fun. There's a lot more to the game. It's not just playing like a little fighting section like you used to. Now it's like puzzles and platforming and 2D and 3D and everything and anything. So it looks quite a lot of fun, to be fair.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
And you, Steve? What did you thought about it?
About Battletoads.
Battletoads, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, that's a little Battletoad on the screen.
Yeah, my little Battletoad. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't get the hate it's getting. It's not supposed to be a big game.
It's not even by Ray themselves. It's like Ray's just handed it off to a littler studio to do it.
So it's not a big deal. I think it'd just be a fun thing. I think the only disappointing thing is I don't think it's
not online co-op. It's couch.
co-op. Yeah. That's the only thing I think is a little bit disappointing. But other than that, I'm quite looking forward to playing it.
Yep, same. I'll be playing it again. It's on Game Pass, so I can't. It's not like I'm missing. I'm paying anything towards it that I already haven't paid.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's crazy. And I mean, we're in 2020, and they still don't release it in online co-op. I mean, what the fuck?
I know. That's the only misstep from them. I think they need to just, especially at launch, just drop an update quickly. Yeah, we've got online co-op.
Yes.
I thought the same with Streets of Rage, though. I think that should have been a 4-player online co-op.
Yeah.
But what's it limited to? Is it just 2?
It's 2-player online, but 4-player couch.
Whoa. That's a bit strange. Yeah, that should have been 4-player online. Oh, well. Very strange. Sean, what are you looking forward to from this conference before we wrap it up?
I don't know. I want to see, like we said before, I see Series X gameplay of Cyberpunk. I also want to see what my back compat stuff will look like. So they've shown a little bit of like Gears 5, but I want to see what other games. will look like with the ones that will be enhanced for it.
Yeah. Well, I think they said everything will be automatically enhanced, but I want to see proof in the pudding. I want a quick sizzle reel of this was running 30 frames, is now at 60. This one was running 60, now at 120. Just a quick refresh. What games are getting updated?
And also with the HDR, how they're saying with that they're
auto HDR.
I want to see the difference. I want them to show me. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be getting a Series X day one, but I think it'd be good to show that this is what you used to get, and this is now what you're getting. The games that you already own, rather than with Sony that you're not quite sure whether you're getting 100 games at launch, where you get a couple, or whether it's going to be 100 over the course of the whole generation. Are they going to be better? How are they going to be better? It's an unknown from Sony's point of view, whereas Xbox have been quite upfront. So I want to see them demonstrate that.
Yeah. Is there any specific, if you could see a game that potentially hasn't been announced, anything that you'd want to see?
Splinter Cell. I can always dream for Splinter Cell. Ubisoft, you break my heart. I don't know. Maybe a stealth genre game. I don't know. It's always
Perfect Dark.
Kind of, yeah. I know that's always been a rumor, and although Perfect Dark isn't quite the Splinter Cell type of game, there's no reason why they can't make it that. Or if it's not, then create, because that's a genre we don't have anymore. It's a genre we used to have loads of, but now it's nothing. So, maybe something along the lines of a Splinter Cell. That's all.
Yeah, that's key for you. A stealth game, nice and stealthy.
I just want to have Michael Ironside whispering in my ear. That's all it is.
Happy days. Right, we will wrap it up there for this evening. It's later on in Europe than it is for ourselves. Our Central European buddies there for Patjeuh and Erwin. Both of them sitting at 11 o'clock at night, 11:15. So we'll wrap that one up. Before we go then, Shom, if you want to let people where they can find you, what you're up to, what games you're going to be playing over the next couple of days, and where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Shomberlon, of course. Xbox, same name. Easy to follow. And that's pretty much all I'm really on. And even on Twitter, I mainly lurk than actually engage in the fanboy nonsense. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Sweet, happy days. Patjeuh,
Yes.
tell everybody where they can find you, what you're up to over the next week, gaming wise or not gaming wise.
Yeah, man, you can find me on Twitter mostly of the time. Same name, Patjeuh070. Also on Xbox. And yeah, what I'll be playing, PUBG, of course, playing some Grounded, Formula 1 2019, just added to the Game Pass as well. It's pretty fun to play. So yeah, that's the most games I'm gonna play this couple of days.
I recommend the Tourist. Definitely jump on that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna download it. Yeah, I'm 100%. Gonna download it as well. Yeah, so that's
nice easy one.
That's it.
Sweet. And last but not least, Erwin, where can they find you and what are you up to?
I'm laughing at Gunster. He's modeling from Vogue. But I already had my best years behind me, Gunster. So it's only gonna go downhill from now on. So I'm too late for the model part. Before you know it, I look like Patjeuh. Patjeuh! Just joking, guys. Just joking. So what I'm gonna be playing is I'm really gonna focus on The Last of Us 2, mainly to try to finish that before my holiday ends. Some racing, probably Gran Turismo. We're gonna do the weekly races, and that is really needed tomorrow night then for the PUBG. The new update of Season 8 together with Patjeuh and with you, Drew. Maybe Shom also, that we can make a squad and get some chicken dinners. And I still really need to play it. I saw it last week as well. I really like to and I want to play Grounded because I see a lot of positive reactions on Grounded.
You need to play it, man. Play it.
I want to do that for sure. So that's going to be a weekend job. I want to play it with one of you guys because you already played it. So Grounded is something that I really want to play. And like I said, my main focus is The Last of Us 2 because I'm fully in the story. I showed you the picture of the 50 Shades of Grey action scene. I need to finish the game. I love it. So. And people can find me on Twitter as well. That picture I took yesterday, and I took it in another color as well. Maybe you can find it on Twitter. But I like the theme. That's the best part of the game. Yeah. But people can find me on Twitter. Look up for Forza Erwin. I'm also doing a little bit of Xbox Benelux. You can find me as there as well, and Instagram it's Forza Erwin as well. But I'm mainly putting some private pictures on there for my kids and stuff. Yeah,
happy days. And last but not least, of course, you can find me on Twitter and everything else as WandrinDutch, including the YouTube channel underneath in the description, both before and after. I've got the links to these guys and any channels that they work with, alongside just the Midweek Mixup podcast. Again, I'll be seeing you all, no doubt, over the coming days. I will be releasing some videos when my throat's a bit better. Still struggling here, very, very dry throat.
Teeth.
Yeah. We're going into next week. We'll be back again for the podcast, usual time, and we'll go from there. But I shall leave you all with this lovely outro video. Have a nice night, everybody. See you again next week.
Drop a like. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.